and welcome back to my channel. I'm Katie, and today I am going to talk about my book haul. My local library has a perpetual book sale, and so once a week I go through them, even though I know most of them have been there when I was there before, but I go through them every week and see if I can find any interesting book covers so I can use them for journals. So today I'm going to show you what I have gotten over the past couple of weeks. What they do, they sell them by the bag full, and so it's like a couple of dollars for a bag of books. And I'm gonna go through this stack first. So yeah, when I go to the library, I look for books that have a cloth cover. The binding doesn't have to be perfect. The book can even be falling apart, because all I'm looking for is a good cover and an interesting piece. I really look for interesting covers. The older the better. It's just something that I really like, and it's how I find them. And these are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, most of the time I don't even pay attention to what the book is about or anything like that, and I will remove this when I go to work on creating the journals out of them. But I go looking for these, and I want, I don't want them to be perfect. I want them to have some character so that the journal has character. And this one, it's small. I'm probably going to use this for a hidden binding. It just depends on how well the cover spine is when I take the book out, if I'll keep this. But I really like this, and I like the small ones because they make great journals. I also look for a small, like this, the traditional library binding. It just works better for what I'm planning on doing with them, because it is covered in book cloth. So if you're looking for some journals to, or old books to turn into journals, look for the ones with the book cloth. I love these little illustrations on the front. This one, and then I will have a lot of the book pages in my book page paper kits as well. Now these, it is still, it is still old enough that that the cover is good and hard. It is still covered in a fabric, and I had never heard of the Dana Girls Mysteries, but written by the same person who wrote Nancy Drew, which, if most of you know, that Carolyn Keene is a pen name for multiple authors who wrote the Nancy Drew books over the years. So, you don't really know who the author of this one were. But yeah, these were in the book sale. They were not library, the ones that were removed from the library. They were just, probably donated, but it's the same cover. I just thought that would be cool. One's a little bit thicker than the other. I guess the paper is a little bit different. And then, these old library covers just really make me love them. And, I'll take this out, and, it's really cool that it's 1978, the year I was born. And this one, I just love the covers, because to me they add so much character to the journals that I create. And with this one, it will probably be a open spine book, so I can make it thicker. But I do sometimes like the thinner books and turn them into sketchbooks, and then I'll pull all this off and things like that. And some of the pieces will be, I will be selling the inside of these books in part of my illustrated papers pack. That's what these will be in as well. And then this one, I just thought the size was interesting. It's a little bit bigger, wider than I normally make journals, but I just loved the cover. The cover is amazing, and the illustrations are just so fun. So yeah, this probably is going to be a little bit longer video, just because I want to show them all. If you can see, this has an embossed, it says the harmony of the something. I can't even read it, but it is embossed and you can see it. It's just, and then there's another embossed piece on the back. I probably will have to take the spine off of this, and then I will reinforce some areas on the edges. And because this book is coming apart. And so this one will be, you know, the pages for this will go into my book papers for sale as well. But yeah, it's starting to come apart, but I don't mind that because, you know, if I'm going to do anything like that, I will just take this and reinforce the spine, the cover of the book, and get it ready for like a Coptic binding. Look at this. This is an edition of The Borrowers, and I probably will make this into a hidden spine book just because I want to preserve this on the book. It just depends on if I can save it. If I can't, I will cut this out and use this spine somewhere else. But yeah, this is an edition of The Borrowers, which I have a lot of these. I do buy them because I like the different editions, and this one was done in 1953. So the illustrations are so interesting, and some of them I will actually turn into framed artwork and I will frame the illustrations, matte and frame them and have them for sale as matted artwork ready to hang. This was another little book. I just liked it. This is probably will come off because it's just stuck on there, but I liked the size of this little book. It's just an index to plays. It's not something that's very useful for people to use, but it's a cool book. So yeah, it'll make a really nice little journal. This is one I don't know if I'm going to cut up. It is a book called Southern Literature, and it is a book from 1895. Look at this. The copyright on this is 1895, which means it is in public domain. So I can use any of the illustrations and things like that for my printables, which I probably will. I'll probably scan a lot of these because this is the list of illustrations in this book. So there are a lot of illustrations. And because of the book being as old as it is in public domain. So look at this. These are amazing. The book is coming apart, and I just thought it was interesting that they used a piece of paper in the spine. So yeah, but since it's coming apart, I probably will, you know, just scan all the stuff, scan the cover as well, because this cover is just, that patina is just amazing. Here's another one. This one is Junior English in Action. I just love this cover. It's just amazing to me. And it is another one that is hit public domain. And so I will be able to I will probably scan some of these and use them in printables. Sorry about that, knocked the camera. But yeah, I'll be using some of these in printables and things like that. You know, because it does say it's, you know, copyright, cover, title. It's just really cool, the illustrations in here, as well as some of the stamps that are in the book as well. So I do use every bit of the book. None of it goes, it saves it from the landfill, because most of these books, if they stay at the library long enough, if they're falling apart, they will just throw them away. So to keep them from going to the landfill, I take them and turn them into something beautiful. And so the same with this. I'll use this in paper and be able to, like, some of this doesn't even have the full book, but it is coming apart. But the two end papers will end up being used as well. But yeah, I love the old Reader's Digest, and I will probably use this for something because it's just too pretty not to. This one reminded me of the Reader's Digest covers, but it's the old library covers that were interesting. It's only covered on one side. And so it's still pretty good condition. But yeah, these books, you know, they're like this one. This one's Teaching Arithmetic to Elementary School #1 Primary Grades. You know, this is how they taught math. And again, this is another book that I was searching for, something that would be old enough to be in the public domain. And same for that. So I'll be scanning a lot of these. So look for these in some printables, especially all of the charts and things. That's what really, you know, is interesting to me, is taking all the charts. This one, I just love the cover, the color. This beautiful coral color, and it's just a bunch of poems. So they actually cut the information out, so I'll actually have to look and see if this is in public domain. If not, it'll just go into my paper stash for paper kits. This one is called King Philip and the Indian Chief. I didn't realize until I got it over here that it had some water damage on the cover. So I don't know exactly what I'll do with it. It's another one that has some really fun illustrations. But as far as I know, I think it is still not, it may be in the public domain. I have to double check. This one, just for the cover, just thought that was really cool. And it has the dust jackets. Yeah, it's got some water damage on the books, so that, you know, is not too bad. But it does have the 2 original front and back of the dust jacket. So this book will be used for a journal. Here's another Teaching Arithmetic. I'm going to shift these books around. Here's another Teaching of Arithmetic. This one doesn't really have a year on it for, you know, what years they used it, but it is Houghton Mifflin. I don't know if this one is in public domain yet or not. But yeah, it's interesting. If not, as I said, it'll go into the paper book stash. But I just loved the cover. I was able to pick up 2 of these down Swanee River. I just liked it for the size of the book and the color of the cover. This is poems. It's poetry from 1960. The book is starting to have some issues because of the discard. And so I will take this apart and use it for journals as well. And this one, it's called Chuckle Bait. I'm going to have to figure out how to get all this off the cover, but I will be able to get it off the cover. But look at that illustration. It's just amazing to me. I just love it. I love these old illustrations. So I will have to do a little work to get these labels off the book. But other than that, I think this is going to be an absolutely beautiful, fun journal. And then this one, you know, I'll scan in things like this to use in my printables, because it's just fun. So, you know, it's more than just taking the book and making a journal out of it. It is also using all the parts and letting it be in someone else's. This is the last one. The Snow Goose, The Small Miracle, and Ludmilla, 3 legends. I just absolutely love this blue cover, and then that embossing. It's just gorgeous. So this book will be another journal, and the papers will go into my paper sales, because look at those illustrations. Unless I decide, okay, no, this illustration needs to be framed. I really love that. That's one thing about these books. I do love to take the illustrations and frame them, and it's just gorgeous. And I'm gonna have to look up this illustrator, Reese Lonette. It's from 1966. So yeah, I'll see what I can find on it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my little vintage book haul, and let me know which book cover was your favorite. And as soon as I get them made into journals, I will come back and film some flip throughs. And I'm also going to show how to take apart a vintage book and to get it ready to be a journal. And I'll show you what the difference is and what kind of books you can use, as well as if the structure is good enough to keep the spine or if it needs to be a visible spine. So, hope to see you soon. If you like this video, click the like button and hit subscribe and leave me a comment. Talk to you later. Bye.